yeah, you need to know your people and make sure you hire the ones that have the same kind of outlook you do.
100%. Well, people make the culture, but the culture makes the company, right?
Let's get on to today's show.
Well, welcome and thank you for joining us on the Leadership Lowdown. I am here with actually my dear friend, Dean Trostle, owner of Auto Partners. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so happy to have you here. So as you know, this is Leadership Lowdown. So all about your journey and successes and, all of the trials and tribulations of being a business owner. Have you had a few?
A couple.
A couple along the way.
Yeah.
A couple this morning, right? On your way here. So tell us a little bit about you. I know you've been in the auto business for many, many years, but what got you in and why are you still here? And tell us about it.
Well, it was a complete accident. I mean,
Okay.
you might find this hard to believe, but most people don't go to college to become a car salesman.
Oh, come on.
So I was working for an ad agency, actually about a block and a half from here, out of college. I was an intern and went to work there.
Okay.
And one of my clients was a car dealership that was here in town.
Okay.
And they called up one day, asked me to come over for a meeting without the owner of the agency. I'm like, this seems kind of weird, but I better go.
Yeah.
And they said, listen, we're going to fire the agency, but we want to hire you.
Wow, that's
and
impressive.
I felt a little guilty about that. Went
Yeah.
home at the time I was engaged, so this is 38 years ago.
Wow.
Told my current wife, listen, Childress Buick is going to fire the agency and wants me to go to work there. And she's like, well, when do you start? Because we're getting married and you need a job. So I went to work in their marketing department and then worked my way through, different roles in management, and then broke out, probably 35 years, 38, so probably 25 years ago into the independent side, so not a non-franchised dealership.
Got it. What was the reason for the big move?
You know what, ideologically, I guess, the philosophy of the big box store, and this is not, their model works, they're hugely successful,
Mm-hmm.
but, the overriding factor is their goal is to maximize their profit on every single transaction.
Sure.
So every time someone walks in the door, we want to make as much money on them as possible.
Yep.
And my goal has always been to maximize our transactions at a fair profit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find and meet as many people as we can. Let's keep doing this over and over again and have them send people. And let's be fair. Let's price things fairly so that we get that repeat and referral business. And it's just it's a different way of looking at it. I mean, our product's all the same.
Right.
But I wanted to be more, service and relationship focused.
Yes. Well, I love that. And your methods and means to get to the same outcome is just, hey, how many more people can we help and do it at a fair price as opposed to.
And it's fun. We have to keep doing it over and over again. I don't want someone to wake up 2 or 3 years from now and it's like, oh, wow, I really got taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Because that's just not how we do things.
Right. Well, and I mean, who's coming back when you feel that way, and the industry itself has that reputation. So to
100%.
be the integrous one in the relationship and do things with morals and ethics and the right way.
Yeah, so that's how we wound up there.
So you started on your own when? How long ago did you branch out on your own?
So initially I left the big dealership and went to a smaller one to help a friend of mine get started.
Okay.
Was with him 10 or 12 years and then left there with a former partner and built, the same thing that we have now. We worked together for about 13 years,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, we were very successful, and our business kept growing and growing. And our philosophies again were a little different. He wanted to scale it and grow it, and have systems, and we started paying more attention to how to add more profit margin into each transaction. Ancillary products or whatever that is. Underwriting our warranty instead of having a third party underwriter, which I think puts us in an adversarial relationship with our clients.
Mm-hmm.
And so 3 or 4 years ago, we decided it was best for us to split. So I decided to grow small. So I left, opened up my own place, and I'm fortunate. I had a crew that has been with me. I think the out of the 6 or 7 people at the office, the most recent addition has been with me for 8 or 10 years.
Wow.
So they're all people that I've, they either hired and trained in the business or who've been with me forever and ever. So it was nice. A nice testament that they decided they wanted to, go back to our roots also.
Yeah, and stay with you. Where and how do you find the amazing talent that you have? Because I know that's obviously a big issue for so many companies today. What do you think? What do you think makes them stay? And
you know what? Treating them right. It's funny. There's an old saying, and I hope I don't screw this up. It was you can tell a lot about a person by the company they keep. And I always like to flip it around and say you can tell a lot about a company by the people they keep. And so that's been my philosophy is, hire people who are good people, that you'd want to hang out with and go have dinner with or have a beer with. and then treat them fairly, give them an environment that they can be successful in.
Yep.
Make sure that you're cognizant of their needs. Anytime I have someone in there, I know what their financial needs are. How do we make sure we meet those for them? Because ours is still a commission-based industry. So you need to know your people and make sure you hire the ones that have the same kind of outlook you do.
100%. Well, people make the culture, but the culture makes the company, right? So don't, and you've seen it. We've all seen it, where you walk into a business and you can just feel, wow, these people want to be there. They're here for the customer. And then there's others where you're like, wow, I am just a number. So
through the years, we've always had people come in and say that, your office reminds us of like a fraternity house. And I take that. I think that's a compliment. I don't know. It's clean, but right. There's no beer cans around until Friday afternoon.
I mean, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Step in the right direction. So tell us a little bit about starting the business, growing in this industry on your own. What were some of the things that worked really well that you think set you up for the successes that you've had, and what are some of the things that you really learned from that were some of your, I don't want to say failures, but mistakes or challenges?
Well, definitely, the two biggest failures or challenges. I've always been someone who thought I could do everything myself, and as you're trying to grow something and scale something, you learn very quickly that you can't handle all of it.
Right.
And so you have to bring in outside people who are good at what they do, and you also have to train and enable your staff to do and make decisions and make mistakes.
Sure.
And learn from it, but be productive and be someone you can rely on and that will support you.
Yep.
And so in our last business, I ran one side of the business, and my former partner ran the other side. So, I was worried. I was on the sales and marketing side, and, what are we going to do to grow? How are we going to take care of our processes? He was on the banking side. And so consequently, here I am now, and I'm like, I need to learn. I need to start paying attention to cash flow.
Right.
I need to start, I need to hire a CPA. I need, maybe bookkeeping.
Right.
I need an attorney.
Sure.
So that was part of the business that, was in our roles. We split that up. I have to deal with that.
Right.
Fortunately, I have a good network and some people that I brought on, and
yes.
I'm really comfortable with all of those. And it's really nice to have people around you who are really good at what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with a phone call, you can get the answer that you trust them, and so that's that and being able to delegate to people have been the two biggest challenges.
And so as you've now started your company just as yourself, has that been the secret sauce, is just finding great people in those to fill those roles? And
I think so.
Yeah.
And and we relied on the reputation we have of doing things the right way in our industry. We're fortunate we've had some credit unions that we worked with in our industry for decades.
Yeah.
That have come back to work with us again, and it's both on a supply side and a disposition side. And it's just so that doesn't happen. That's a coveted asset to have that relationship. But it's something that we built over the years, and they realized that it wasn't the name on the building, that it was the people who were working with them that took care of them.
Yeah.
And so we've gotten a lot of those relationships back, and it's helped us, grow faster than we normally would have.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. And even just in working with you directly, as you know, and for some of our listeners and viewers, I had the great opportunity. My dad was looking for a car. You helped him, in his 80s to find a new car. And literally the experience from start to finish was so fantastic. He still, I think there might be a shrine to you. I'm not 100% sure, but there's a good chance.
I'm definitely on the Christmas card list.
You are for sure. But that's not a common experience in the car industry. And I felt so comfortable and confident referring you, of course, because I know you and just, from all of our connections, but seeing it firsthand through someone that you love and care about and having them just rave about their experience. What is it that you feel makes you and or your company, your team, have that extra something in an industry that is so polluted with people that really are just there for the buck?
I think part of it, like I talked a little bit about, is we have a platform that allows our people, if they do what they're supposed to do, to make a living. So they're not, they're not fighting for their next meal.
Yeah.
And I think that takes a little bit of stress out, and it helps them remember to do things the right way.
Yep.
For us, the people that we get to meet and those experiences that we get to work with, that's kind of the Sunday. That's our dessert at the end of the meal.
Yeah.
Because that's why we all do it at the end of the day. Is that because that's fun. Getting to have those relationships and hearing those people's stories and earning their trust just by becoming friends, where they will send their father or their neighbor or a coworker and say, you have to call these guys, you have to work with them.
Yep.
And we so that's I think that's why. It's
Yeah.
because we can, we eliminate a little bit of that pressure and make sure that we focus on the relationship.
Yep. Well, and that's definitely from my experience on the external yet internal piece of what he experienced. So thank you for that, and I think it makes a huge difference, and it's what obviously people remember about you, remember about the experience, and would be the reason that they refer. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic. And so for your business, obviously you help people find used cars, but also new cars as well.
We act as a broker for new cars.
Okay.
So we're not franchised, but we act as a broker for new cars.
Mm-hmm.
We have an inventory. We're licensed for used cars.
Mm-hmm.
And we do our business is probably split half and half, right down the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And folks that are looking for fleets and things like that.
We work with small fleets.
Mm-hmm.
We've been actually fortunate to work with a number of people that are BBB members that I've met through the BBB.
That's awesome.
We work with people who are calling up to look for a cheap car for their 16-year-old kid.
Right.
That's probably going to get wrecked in the next year.
Yeah, exactly. Like we see it all.
Yeah. We don't, we're small. And sometimes could be viewed as a detriment. I mean, we only keep an inventory of probably 60 cars on average.
Mm-hmm.
But we like to be a little bit more flexible.
Yeah.
So we serve in a concierge capacity, I guess.
Sure.
A lot of times, hey, I'm looking for this kind of car for someone in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we don't have that, but let's go find that for you. Let's see exactly what it is you want, down to the year, make, and model specifics and colors and miles and budget and equipment. And then, go find that for them. So we do that.
Fantastic.
A lot of it is bought specifically for people.
Mm-hmm. Which is great. And then you don't hold the inventory, but you can find anything that anyone might need.
As long as we have enough time, we can find what they want. And we keep enough stuff hopefully on the shelf that, when someone calls up, we can answer some of them like, hey, I'm looking for this. And we can say, yeah, we have that.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to do that some.
Yep. Fantastic. And I know that recently, I know you have a big heart for the community and being in a few different organizations and things like we have been over the years, you give a lot, but you also give not just of yourself, but you also give to the community. And I know there was something that you did recently in giving in an automobile to someone. Do you mind sharing that story? Because I think that's the heart of what the BBB is all about, giving back to community and doing things the right way. So
yeah, it was just perfect timing. We had an elderly lady who was trading in her car that she had for years. It was very old and had miles on it, but it was in great condition. Mm-hmm. And we happened to see a broadcast on like a 3 on your side about a young girl out in Avondale who was struggling, not because she was on her own. She was taking care of a kid's sister, going to school, trying to work, and there was a mix-up with one of the utilities, and they were going to turn her electricity off. But it wasn't her bill. It was a mistake, but she didn't have the money to catch up, and she didn't know how to fight it, and 3 on your side became involved. And one of the things that she mentioned was she really wants to try to save up to get a car so she could drive her sister to school and they wouldn't have to walk or take the bus everywhere. And so we just happened that we had a car that came in that was perfect, and so we were able to get with her through the station and give that to her.
Fantastic.
And, and she's a great kid. We got to meet her. The icing on the cake, I guess, was we met her boyfriend's mother. And she goes, and the mom said, most of the time, boys' moms don't like the girls that they're. Yeah. But she's awesome. I would take her over my son if I had a choice.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Well, and one of the things that I've always admired about you is that you just have this humble servant leadership heart, and that's not something that you find in your industry that often. So I just compliment you on that, because that was something so under the radar, and it wasn't something that you were looking for PR and press and cameras and lights on you. It was just so like, hey, it's just the right thing to do, or this opportunity is just here, and why wouldn't I? And I think that's just so
we
great.
were able to, the cost to us was, far less than the benefit to her.
Yeah.
And we talked to her once afterwards, and she was going to get her hair done because she could cut her hair at home herself. Oh. And she's like, I can drive now to go to the bar or the beauty shop and get my hair cut.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's changing someone's life.
Yeah. And we're not good about the PR side. We have when we started the business, we adopted a policy that we were going to support a different organization every month through the year with every sale that we do, we'll give a little bit back to the community. Yeah. And but we're still trying to figure out how to put our first social media post out to say, hey, this is a partner of ours that we. Right. So one of these days, maybe in year 2 or year 3 or whatever.
We'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there. That's awesome. Well, good for you, though. I mean, that's doing it the right way. Question for you in terms of starting this business and being in the industry in terms of working for a dealership versus on your own. Obviously, no one gets there on their own. So were there for you a mentor or somebody that kind of guided you or helped you think differently and bigger and better than your average kind of car guy that doesn't get the good reputation?
Yeah, some of the people that I've worked with in the past, I would say my personal philosophy is that every step you take gets you where you are today. So even if there was something that turned out to be a bad experience in the end, if you still glean something from that along the way, and that takes you where you're at, and that brings you where you are. And so I've tried to learn something from everyone I can. I had a meeting earlier this morning, and one of the people I was talking to was an attorney, and talked about how to focus on your business, and you as a leader you should have 5 things that are the most important influences in your business success, and those are the 5 things you need to be focusing on. And your job is to figure out what those 5 things are,
right? And
then make sure that that's where you spend 90% of your time.
Yeah,
which I think is a great, that's a great ideology.
Yep.
So, and our product is different, but our model is, and we're a retail organization, and so we can watch any other organization and learn from them. Learn how they, whether it's on the fulfillment or strategies or steps in the process to make things faster or more efficient. So I try to pay attention to. I'm not usually the smartest guy in the room, so I'll pay attention to the guys that are and learn from them.
I love it. Humble as always, my friend. Well, I want to ask a few questions that I think are not only fun and insightful, but give people a little bit more, depth of who Dean is and some fun with it while we do it. So you good with that? These actually originated from a French talk show originally, so they are not my own questions. However, I think they're just
that was the research you were doing last week.
Right, exactly. Firsthand. Yeah. So first question is, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word? Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty
that's one I use probably more.
Yeah. Do you have a least favorite word?
Taxes. That just came to the forefront this last week. So that's
right. You're like, that's right there for me.
Yeah, that's right there, right?
Yeah, I love it. So, what for you turns you on creatively, spiritually, emotionally? Like, what just lights you up outside of the car biz?
You know what? I enjoy time with family and friends.
Yeah.
I like experiences.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I've been married almost 38 years. I've got 3 semi-grown boys.
Nice.
We've got great friends that we've been with for decades, and so we just got back this last weekend from Colombia. We went to homecoming for our best friend's youngest daughter for her senior year.
Wow.
So that's what gets me going. Is just having the ability to spend time with them and do fun stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I always share this with my daughters, but I'm like, hey, stuff is stuff. It's nice, great. But those memories, those experiences, that's just the stuff you hold on to forever.
When you get with people that you either related to or that you're friendly with, and the conversation eventually turns to something that starts with remember when.
Yeah.
And it's like when it starts with remember when, that may be my favorite word. That's 2 words, but because that means we have a shared experience that we enjoyed, and it left an impact on all of us. So.
That's so cool. I've never thought about it that way, but I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's true.
Yeah.
That's a good thing when you have the remember when. What would you say turns you off that you're like, oh?
You know what? I'm turned off, and it's a bad character flaw. My wife tries to help me correct it. I'm turned off by people that are full of themselves, and I may be somewhat quick to make judgments, and then I realized later that I was the fool and I was just being, too quick to judge.
Yeah.
And she tries to correct that for me all the time.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
No, that's good. I mean, that's good to recognize, but also,
I just when people, we're at the end of the day, none of us are really that important.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. I say this again with my daughters all the time. I'm like, we get one shot at this, and we're just all these, big old meat sacks running around,
at the end of the day,
living life.
I mean, even the most important person in the most important or powerful job in the world, maybe say in the United States, that's maybe the president. It gets replaced every 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no organization that really can't survive without the replacement of anybody. So no matter if you're the CEO or if you're the janitor, you can be replaced.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah. So just
titles
don't be so full of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You're just a human.
Yeah.
I love it. What sound or noise do you love?
Bottle of wine opening.
Red or white?
Either. I'll drink pink or orange also if that's all that's around.
I love it. Are you a big wine guy?
I do.
Yeah,
I love wine.
Just love it. Love it.
I love it.
Like wine connoisseur, like you know your wines really well, or is it more like I like the taste and?
I'm past like a level 1.
Okay.
So where I'm not a snob, but I'm a little snobby.
Okay.
I like a nice bottle of wine. I'd rather spend for a nice bottle of wine. And I enjoy it. I mean, I have a wine fridge at the house. I bought it, on OfferUp, and it was a sad story. It was the lady was selling it. Her and her husband were getting ready to build their dream home. And he apparently had been consulting his girlfriend on some of the stuff, and she found out and decided there wasn't going to be a dream home. There wasn't going to be a husband anymore.
Ooh.
And the new wine fridge that they had bought that holds like 120 bottles wasn't going to make it anywhere. Right. So I got that, and I asked my wife Julie. I said, "Do you mind if I buy this?" She goes, "Do you need it?" I said, "No, but I really want it." And she goes, "All you're going to do is fill it up." And I go, "Yeah, then I'm going to empty it and I'm going to fill it up again."
You're like, that's sort of the point of this.
That's why I want that.
I love it. Has it done well for you?
It's done very well.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Are you a big go out to eat or wine tasting or pairings?
I love it. Yeah. We found there's a few little wine bars like over in California that we'll go to and have got to know the owners and talk to them. So again, I don't know a lot. I mean, I know the very tip of the iceberg, but I enjoy, people ask me, how do you know that? So I read the bottle, or I talk to people who know.
I'm really good about that.
Yeah, so I like to know about it. I like to know, I reached out and started drinking wines from France and from Italy, and it's like, gosh, we've been doing it for a couple hundred years. They've been doing it for a couple thousand, so they got to be really good at it.
They've got to know what they're talking about. Well, now with your big trip, you get to taste right there.
Super excited about that.
I love that. I love that. Okay, I'm excited to hear what you come back with. Make a list, please.
I will.
Please share. Is there a sound or noise that you do not like?
Sound or noise that I don't like. Fire alarm.
Yeah.
I like to cook, and I set the fire alarm all off at the house. Yeah. So it means I got to get the ladder out, take the batteries out.
Never good. Yeah, never good. Yeah. And it's the fire alarm at 3 a.m. that's beeping somewhere.
Worse,
that's even worse. Yeah. That's definitely up there. If you were to choose a profession other than your own, skill set aside, just that you would love to have done, maybe when you were a kid or even now, what would that be?
Well, the MBA was never in the cards. I think I would have been an architect.
Oh, interesting.
I love architecture. I love looking at old buildings. I'm so excited about our trip to Europe, just to see all the architecture and the craftsmanship. So much fun. We were like I mentioned, we were in Colombia this last weekend and looking at the old buildings downtown.
Yeah.
And just seeing, they took the time to engrave the name of the building, on the dormer, and then the windows are all cased with concrete. It took extra work and extra steps and extra costs. I just appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then I don't have that creative ability. I would be broke. But I love seeing what people, what comes out of just a blank piece of paper in someone's imagination.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for you. So excited for you. You're going to see so many wonderful things. Good for you. Good for you. And what profession do you think sounds dreadful? Like you're like, there's no way I could ever do that.
Actually, I had an opportunity a friend of mine wanted me to go in on a business with him, and it was renting and cleaning porta potties. And I passed, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
But and then every time I drive by and see someone doing that, I'm like, thank God I never did that with him.
Yeah, no.
If someone calls in sick and I'm out there with the gloves and the galoshes and no fun.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. And finally, to wrap us up on the questions, if heaven exists, what would you love to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
We're surprised, but you made it.
You leveled up.
Yeah, you got it in the last minute.
I love it. I love it. I find that hard to believe. I don't think that that's going to be what happens if I know you as well as I think I do.
Yeah, I hope I got a spot there.
I think you're fine. Well, I love spending time with you, and I so appreciate you sharing your insights and things that were part of your journey. And to wrap us up, being that it's the Leadership Lowdown, any word of wisdom, tip, insight, anything that you'd love to share with our listeners that kind of gives them a little gleam into that would be helpful for them?
You know what? I think if we boil down everything we talked about today, it would be make sure you surround yourself with people who you want to be around.
Yeah.
That have the same morals and ethics and work ethic and outlook on life. Yeah. Don't spend time with people who don't make you better.
Yeah. I love it. Well, you make me better, my friend, just by knowing you. So thank you for being here, and appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us. This has been Jodi Low with the Leadership Lowdown. And remember, leaders are learners, so stay curious and keep leading with love. And remember, you can catch our show every Thursday morning, and the best way to keep up with new episodes is to subscribe on YouTube, Apple, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.